What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Boba Fett on a throne from Mandalorian, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. I've been eyeing this figure for a while now, but because I have the 2-pack Boba, I'm kind of hesitant to pull the trigger, But finally, I was just like, you know what? I watched Book of Boba. I actually liked it. It's not as horrible as people make it out to be, at least in my eyes. It's not the best show that I've seen, but it's also not the worst. So I was just like, but there's a lot of presence in this figure. So I was just like, you know what? I'm a sucker for diorama as well. I want that throne. I do. So unfortunately, you can't buy it by itself. Otherwise, I would have, stuck with my 2-pack and then bought the throne separately. But Hot Toys is wise. They made you buy the throne. So, you know what? And I'm kind of glad because I get to see this armor, which is beautiful in its own right. It does have a lot of accessories. And as you can see, the box is massive. It's almost as big as the 2-pack, and that has 2 figures in it. It's almost the same box as Wonder Woman, the deluxe version. These are massive boxes. It feels like I'm unboxing a quarter scale statue here. Now you see all the accessories it comes with, which is pretty hefty, for an individual figure. Although not quite as much as the 2-pack. There's some elements on the 2-pack that does not come with this release. Well, the biggest one that it does have, obviously, is the throne. But if you kind of want to create the perfect Boba, you still have... There's a lot of things in the 2-pack that this one does not have. And you see the rocket and all that stuff. So I'm saying to create the ultimate Boba, you kind of need both. You don't really need to, but if you're a massive Boba fan, which I'm not even a Boba fan. It's PJ who's a Boba fan. But I appreciate all the love and attention to details that Hot Toys put into these figures, because even though, like I said, I'm not a huge fan, I appreciate all of them. I appreciate the throne, the effects that it does come with. You put them all together and they're beautiful. They're beautiful as a unit, not even as just a single figure. And this throne right here, what can I say? Man, it is nice. It's nice. And we'll take a closer look on that. But first, we got to take a look at the accessories. It doesn't come with a lot of hands, surprisingly. Maybe because I'm coming off that 2-pack, which has a gazillion hands. Now it comes, and it's the same hands basically. Same jetpack, but different paint application. This one's all green. And by the way, if you are still on the fence whether to get this or the 2-pack, I am going to create a separate video that would maybe help you decide which way to go first, right? So maybe that will help. And you do have this flame effect as well, and then you get this grappling hook, which if you had any Boba or Mando in the past, this would not look foreign to you. They're the same. And it also comes with a blaster. I know it starts with an E. So those fans out there, just put in the comments what the blaster is. And also the rifle. I think it's like EE something. See, I'm not there yet, guys. I'm starting to get it. I'm getting into Star Wars because my kids really love Star Wars. They actually watch Book of Boba twice. So in that sense, I'm starting to love the franchise as well, because I'm getting more attached to it. We're watching it as a family, and I think that's what it's all about, just a family affair. And we just finished, and I just finished Andor. That one I just watched by myself, no kids. I loved it. So I'm getting invested more and more into the lore of Star Wars, so to speak. And as far as this throne, it is beautiful. What can I say? Again, I'm a sucker for diorama pieces, and this is one of them. I had the fortunate, experience of owning a throne from Hot Toys, which is the Black Panther throne. It retailed for $120 back in the day. This is more, I would say this is bigger, heftier, and has more details than that. So if they sold this separately, I can imagine this being at around $150. And for somebody who hasn't collected, diorama pieces or throne, you might think that it's expensive. It really isn't. If you go to Big Bad and type 1/6 diorama, most of them are upwards $100. You can see some stands that are less than 100, but they're just stands. They're not, diorama pieces per se. You can have the figure stand on it, but this is just a presence in it by itself. That's one of the main reasons why I bought this. Not because of the figure, but because of the throne. Like I said, if they sold the throne separately, I would have just purchased this by itself. But having him sit here, it feels, and then and then in the future down the line, you buy Fennec. You have her stand right next to it. That scene right there just looks phenomenal by itself. So I have no regrets getting this piece, even just for the throne itself. No, the figure itself is not bad. Speaking of which, let's take a look at this repainted suit, because I think this is, I don't want to say this is superior, but I kind of like the look better. I do like the contrast of black and green with the, like the red tones on it. He looks pretty badass. This is almost similar to his suit from Book of Boba, although there's a little bit of difference here and there, but it's almost similar. So you can get away with having this to represent your Book of Boba. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see myself buying that Book of Boba figure now. I would stick with this because it doesn't offer, unlike this, it doesn't offer something different. I know the pants are different, but I can live with that. I might buy the quarter scale Book of Boba though, the deluxe version, because that looks phenomenal. And I'm kind of appreciating quarter scale more and more now. So that one I might purchase. But as far as the 1/6, I think I will stay with this. But you can see here, I do like the way Hot Toys and also, the Disney, how they treated this. Like, it's not perfect. Like, you can see he didn't sand it down, he just painted over it and called it a day. I think that is perfect. I love kind of like the idea behind it, that it's not like pristine. Look at the helmet itself. You can see some marks in it, the imperfections in it. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. Now there's few differences, because now on the side you can see there's like a T in it. I don't even know what it means, honestly, but it's there. It's not there on my kind of scratched up version. You can see the paint chips and all that. And I this one I kind of learned those stripes are his kill count or something like that. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I heard it from somewhere, forgot where, but it's there compared to the previous one, and I like it. I like the overall. I mean, you can never go wrong with Boba's helmet. It's very iconic. It's just a matter of how well it's painted, and the shape. Of course, it kind of varies from the if you go from the previous one to this one. You got his range finder as well, which is pretty cool. It actually articulates and go down for those who haven't bought a Hot Toys figure before. It is quite nice. Now, speaking of nice, the head sculpt has always been on point when it comes to Temuera Morrison. And this is no different. The difference is that this one's looking forward compared to looking off to the side if you did purchase the 2-pack. A lot of details. Again, I'm going to do a straight comparison between the two, but this as I'm pretty sure you're just going to get this individual pack as well. If you buy this, you're going to get pretty much the same head sculpt, just without the throne. They look nice. They look good. The scars are there. The overall detail is there. Just nice. I mean, one of the better head sculpt that Hot Toys has done, in my opinion, is the Temuera Morrison likeness. Even dating all the way back to his Commander Cody, which I did had at one point. I think it just represents his likeness very, very well. And this is no different. But the eyes are looking forward, so a little bit more poseability there. Now, articulation-wise, this has a fat suit. So as you can see, there's a bit limitation here, but not impossible. It's not impossible to pose him. It's just going to take a little bit of force if you don't modify it. I don't modify these kind of things. I leave it as it is. I can achieve poses here just with a little bit of patience. You could, but if you don't have that, you can open it up and do that modification. It works wonders, honestly, even with Mandalorian. But with me, I'll stay with it with stock. And again, I can pose it around anyway. You can have him sitting down. See, double jointed on the knees. The arms, you see that even with fat suit, you have some leeway there. You can spread the legs forward, bend the knees back. He can kick him up and down, no problems whatsoever. With the waist, you could also do some pivot in here. So yes, there is some hindrance in there, but again, not enough for me to complain. This is not a static figure by any means. Now the side piece, the holster there, kind of worries me because it's like pleather and you have him sitting down for a long time. You see that kind of like bent. Yeah, but we'll figure that out once we get there. Poses. So let's get there now. Here he is holding the helmet. I forgot to mention that the helmet has some details inside. Beautiful, because it has a different joint. So it's not like one of those neck pegs that you pull out. It has some foam inside, and so you can have him posed like this, like holding his helmet in the back of Mos Espa with those, I don't know, those kids in the back who has their scooters and all that stuff. It's kind of like the silly part of Book of Boba, but it didn't ruin the experience for me. And here he is again. I'm using like the Book of Boba background here. I want a Gamorrean guard, even though it's give us a Gamorrean guard, and I'll take a power pose Gamorrean guard. I'll take that. All they needed to do is stand behind him. Just pose there. And I know there's one from Regal Robot, but that's like $400. I'm not going to buy that. So I'll be happy for a power pose Gamorrean guard just to serve as a back piece, like a background piece for my Boba Fett right here. So, and here he is just in action. Probably like, let's say, pretend that this is towards the end of Mandalorian. No jetpack. Just running towards the enemy, like shooting them and all that stuff. I like it. I like this look. I like this look at all. You can make an argument that the Book of Boba on the Mandalorian is the most badass Boba we've seen by far. Even more badass than what he is in his own show, which is Book of Boba. His appearance on Mandalorian is phenomenal, in my opinion. So, hey, if you want to make it that way, then you could. And final thoughts on this figure. It is great. I like it. It has a lot of presence to it. A bit expensive, but you're getting a different piece, a different one that you are normally used to, which is just a figure, swap hands and all that stuff. You will have a throne. You have the option to have him sit down, stand beside the throne, or he does have his own stand, so you can have him there as well. Keep the throne back in the box if you want to mix up your display. So you have options here. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully this video kind of helps you out in your decision. If not, watch out for my other video for the comparison between the two Bobas. Until then, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.